So new, fresh, and affordable, close to the beaches in Destin and Fort Walton Beach. But is Crestview really gonna be a good place to live? Now, here's what you need to know before moving here to Crestview. We're gonna be going over the pros and the cons of living here in this area. If you're the family or maybe solo living and you're really looking for an affordable community, good schools, and a laid-back lifestyle, now Crestview could be the perfect spot for you. There's a lot of outdated information about this area, and it's pretty sugar-coated really to get your attention. Today, I'm gonna give you the facts of what you actually need to know and stay away from bugs. Let's go ahead and get into the cons first. Let's knock them out. Let's go. All right, guys, let's jump into this. I love the pros and cons of Crestview, right? We're out here in downtown Crestview today, right? This is the most condensed area of Crestview. If you really wanted to see the cons, I could have come out here 10 years ago and it would have looked like a war zone. It looks a lot better now. So number one for the cons, I have them written down just in case you're wondering if I'm cheating here, is the few entertainment options. There are, okay? Now, you do have some boutique places out here in Crestview. You do have restaurants, more family-friendly restaurants. There's some pretty good gyms, surprisingly enough, out here. But as far as like nightlife entertainment, there's really not a whole lot. Not unless you have like hobo stab insurance. Just kidding. But no, there's really not a whole lot that's going on. There's really limited nightlife. There's not a whole lot of upscale dining or cultural, like local events that you're gonna see. Now, I will tell you that most of the time, you're gonna end up going out to Fort Walton Beach or Destin to do those things. The other part is we move here to the Emerald Coast. You're gonna end up going to Crestview and you're like, hey, where's all the water sports that we're supposed to be doing? Yeah, there are some. You've got the river that's here. There are some ponds that are out here too, but most people, if they're gonna go out and do water activities, is jumping in their truck, jumping in their vehicle, and just going down into the Choctaw Bay or all the way down into the beach. The good news is it's only maybe 30, 40 minutes depending upon traffic and seasonality. Today is July 3rd of 2025. This is the worst weekend to travel anywhere. So just know what the season is like and look up your Waze in Google or just stay home. That's what I'm doing. Other than right now, we're out in Crestview having a good time. You and I, let's do it. Okay, so number two is there's less job opportunities. I'll tell you right now, at the time of this video, and I can't say it here, but I will tell you that there's a big company coming in that's going to be building out in Crestview soon. There's going to be a lot of job opportunities coming. So if you're watching this video and you're part of it, then you know. And do me a favor, comment below, just say, hey, thanks, Tim, just so I know. All right. Again, I just want to show you real quick, like we got some cool places to go hang out here. Like, it's actually a pretty cool downtown now. Most of what you're going to see here are going to be people that are just doing the normal jobs around town, or they're traveling into Fort Walton Beach. Maybe they're traveling into Destin or anywhere that's close, Niceville, to support either the tourism industry or usually it's the military. We got Duke Field, we got the 7th Group Army Special Forces that are right down the street here. And we also have people that work at Eglin Air Force Base. They typically end up out this way too. So pretty decent jobs around here, just not in the city of Crestview. But more are coming. More are coming. Because of remote work, we've been seeing a lot more people moving that way as well. And that's been a big hit here. I would just make sure that if you are going to be moving out here and you're considering Crestview, depending upon where you're going to work, like say you're going to be working at or be part of Hurlburt Field, please give me a call. Talk to me, talk to my team here. I will personally have a conversation with you if you're thinking about purchasing a property out here. Let's talk about what that drive and that traffic could actually look like in season or out of it, all right? So let's see what we can do for that. All right, let's move on to number 3. Con number 3. Traffic.
No. Wait.
It's freaking traffic. Technically, it's longer commutes in traffic. We can expect on this Route 85 that we're currently on
basically goes from Niceville, which is really just north of the airport, VPS, Glenn Air Force Base, up to I-10 and beyond. That stretch of road is a freaking nightmare. Let me just share with you what it looks like. Yeah, so that just goes on forever. So hopefully, you know, they can fix this infrastructure and add maybe a couple more lanes wide or something like that would be real nice. Once you get past the I-10 bridge, right, the on-ramp, it's not so terrible. You know, it's only a couple miles of this, what you just saw, and then it releases most of the time going south. So if you're looking at that, hey, you know, it's only so much of maybe a 20-minute drive, you know, to get where I got to go for work or school or whatever from where we're possibly going to be, go ahead and move that time and dates into the summer or just during the weekdays between about 2:30 and about 6 to 7 p.m. I would say 6:30. It can take twice as long. I always suggest that if you are going to find a place to stay in Crestview and you're not working in Crestview and you go to commute all the time, make sure your car's super comfy and you like spending time in it. Or just stay in South Crestview, south of I-10, and you won't have this to worry about. It's just because there's not a lot of alternative routes. In South Crestview, you can hit Antioch Drive, either left or right, to be able to mitigate some of that traffic coming down 85. As long as you're good with it, it's not a big deal. For me, it just drives me crazy. You can't tell in my face. Here's the big thing. If you guys are really want to know where to live in Crestview to avoid this, give me a call, shoot me a text. Let's have a phone conversation or a sit down Zoom consult, and we could talk more about where exactly you need to go and what you can truly anticipate. If you do need that local insight, make sure you message me, call or text. We got you back. All right. Let's get into the pros, guys.
All right, so let's talk about the pros. One of the biggest pros about Crestview and living here is going to be the affordability of homes. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you one of our listings here, which you're gonna find normally in your 2005 builds, and up, obviously, you're gonna get more luxury and things like that. By the way, if you guys do wanna see that, we do have videos with all different types of new construction as well in Crestview. Check it out in the videos that we have coming up here. But I wanna show you that because the average price point out here in Crestview for these homes that are sitting on half an acre lot, you know, really conveniently located, especially this one, it's not far from downtown. Like, I can spin around here, you guys can kind of see in this neighborhood, it's what you would expect in a nice, quaint Florida neighborhood, right? Now, you can see some of these newer homes go all the way up to 600,000, like if you're looking for a 3,000 luxury here, but you can get into new construction actually around like 350 up to 400, and be in one of those newer construction communities. But on the average, if you're looking for resale, especially right now in 2025, I probably shouldn't be saying this in front of my own listing, but there's tons of opportunities for buyers, guys. Despite what the news is going to tell you, despite what the interest rates are doing, there's tons of opportunities. If you really want to know what's going on, reach out to myself and my team and we'll talk about what's up. All right, so the one thing here that you're going to notice and that you should know is that with these types of homes, especially those that were built from 2005 and beyond, or even later, is the roof, right? This roof that we have on here is only 2 years old because it has to be redone. Anything that's probably less than 20 years, even though it's a 30-year shingle, yes, metal roofs are the same way, you're gonna have this issue where the insurance isn't gonna wanna bind with them. If you're a VA borrower, since we have a lot of veterans, I'm a veteran myself, but if you have we have a lot of veterans that come in here or active duty, and they'll come in and the VA guideline says it's gotta have 3 to 5 years retainability. Because of the harsh weather that we have here in Florida, a 30-year shingle may only last 20 years. So that's a big part of the inspections that you're gonna wanna know when you end up purchasing. But anyway, I wanna tell you that if you go into Destin and all the places that you're gonna want to live in this area, the big thing that I would really pay attention to is that the single family home there is about $800,000. Okay, for the same amount of space that you're gonna get there. For that, you can buy something here for about half that. This is what we're gonna see here. Now, first of all, we'll see that we got a 2-car garage. And if you can't tell, this is on a bit of an elevation going up. This is not uncommon. You see a lot of these driveways have some sort of incline or decline throughout here, because as you can see where the road kind of tapers down, that's what you get here. It's got some hills. It's got some hills in Crestview. You won't find that in Fort Walton or Destin so much. You're gonna find like most of it here. If I were you, I'd want something like this where it slopes down versus the driveway sloping towards the house to worry about water efficiency, right? So we'll see that here. This is one of the homes, has cameras on it. Really nice here, but it's very basic stuff that you're gonna see. So let's go inside this home. What you see first is that it does have vinyl on the outside. All right. So some of the standard features that you're going to find in these types of homes is first, a lot of these have these vaulted ceilings, and that's what we're seeing here. It really opens a space. This is actually only 1,224 square feet, but it feels a lot bigger just because of the open spaces and higher ceilings. So over here first is the first bedroom. So we're gonna come in here. This is usually what we see in here. We have carpet, right, in most of the bedrooms, then tile or some sort of laminate throughout the rest of the home. But regular size closets. We've got a big window here to open a lot of natural light in here. It's closed right now. That's because I forgot to prep it. Sorry, guys. But yes, we'll continue through. Now, as this opens up, this is a big, wide space that we have here. And then what you can do is you have a lot of different options when it comes to putting out furniture. And inside here, we can see that we have this more of a breakfast area. You can still fit a pretty good dining area in here as well. And then over on this side, we have what we call a split bedroom concept. So we have the 2 bedrooms that are over here. And then on this side, we have the master. We're gonna go check out the master and the kitchen here just in a moment, but let's go ahead and take a peek around. So first here to the left, we're gonna see the first bedroom. Again, carpet throughout here. And you also see, oh, that's kind of cool. You notice I was gonna do that. We have laminate in this part of the room with cool lighting, by the way. So again, decent sized closet, good sized room. And if you can't really tell in this photo, or this video rather, this is probably good for about a queen size bed with furniture around it, and you should still be able to move around. And then of course we have our bathroom. This is a laminate single vanity. This again is pretty standard what you're gonna find in your 2005 homes, as well as your tub shower combo. So again, around the same. Going into bed 2, this is what it looks like with furniture in it. This is about the same size as what we saw before. Of course, you got the dual doors for that, making it a little bit more open. You still got the natural light in here, and these are still pretty tall ceilings. Now you notice as well, you're gonna find this a lot, that it does have popcorn ceiling. Now this is pretty mild in comparison to what I've seen be built out here, but expect that you're gonna find something like that. Okay, so we do have a nice backyard, as you can see back here. Oh, and there's a little puppy. But you can see that we've got a decent size back here. Not a lot of maintenance and not too much of an elevation change when it comes through here. Now, interesting parts too, we do have these trays that were really popular in the early 2000s. Well, really it's a dust magnet if you ask me, but definitely an interesting style that we have throughout here. Again, hopefully you can see that this looks a lot bigger for only 1,224 square feet. We're gonna get back into this kitchen so that we can give you a good idea what this looks like, but I wanna show you the master first. So going into the master, again, this is another transition into the carpet.
This is the biggest room. So you can still get a king size bed in here, maybe not a California king, but you could still get a king size bed in here with furniture and still be able to move around. There's a big walk-in closet. I'm not gonna go into that for you guys. Unfortunately, I just don't want to take this person's privacy. And then here is the master bath. It is set up similar. It's a little bit more counter space. The vanity is bigger, but again, that same tub shower combo that you're gonna find within this type of home, right? So really good starter home. Guys, I'll tell you what the price is for this home here just in a little bit, but you can see that they've put a lot of love into this. Obviously, it's got a bit of wear and tear to it, but you know, that's what you're gonna find in resale homes, but because due to the affordability, some paint and putting some floor on, you can really make this into something nice, especially as a starter home. So let's get into the kitchen. Going into the kitchen, you can see that we got Formica countertops, actually pretty good condition. They've done a pretty good job with the texture around the peninsula, which is this area here. It's an island when it's detached, right? But again, another thing that you're gonna find most standard in these homes is you're gonna have that elevated bar area, right? You think that, hey, I want a flat top until you do. So let me tell you a quick story. I thought for sure that this is what I wanted in my house, was the flat. And then when you start to do dishes and things like that, the one thing that we forget about is how much the faucet actually throws the water back in the other direction, right? And because we had granite on top of there, it was hard to see the water, so we never knew. Like we never knew really what was going on in here. So I'm actually a bigger fan of these ones that kind of step up, only because it kind of holds that water back. But again, it's gonna be up to you. All right, so you're gonna see, this is pretty standard for the amount of cabinets that you're gonna get. And a lot of these homes have been updated, as you see, with these stainless steel appliances as well. Oh, that's a cool fridge. Little modern fridge that we have here as well. And the one thing too, and guys, if you don't know, if you haven't watched my other videos, please do. There's over 400 of them. Check them out here at the end of this one. But the one thing that you always want to be looking for is what you see behind me. It's a pantry. Not a lot of places will. You'll see some really pretty updated homes that were built in the 70s and they don't have a pantry. And you don't realize that until you move in. You're like, what am I gonna do without this? Where do I put my food? Like, where do I put it where I put my pots and pans? Like, what are we doing with this, right? But having a pantry and place to put in there makes a huge difference, okay? One other caveat too that is in the garage, it's pretty dirty, but you know, we're gonna take a look, all right? Because there's something else I wanted to show you as well, which is a really dark garage. No, just kidding, okay? One of the things that we have in our 2-car garage that you're gonna see a lot in Florida is this. It is your washer and dryer inside the garage. It doesn't seem so bad when it's, you know, nice weather outside, but when it gets like 100 out there, having that inside the garage is not the most convenient thing. I'm sure it helps when it comes to drying, but for me, I gotta dry me off because I'm sweating my face off, okay? Another thing too, let's go ahead and switch up here. A lot of these places will have attic space, storage. A lot of the times you just have to ask to be like, hey, is this gonna be something that is going to be finished? Is this something that's gonna be finished out or something like that? So that's to give you a good idea of what you can get in this home. As you just saw here, we have 4 bedrooms, right? 4 bedrooms, decent size, surprisingly enough, at this square footage, 2 full baths. And this one with a newer roof sits at $247,500. You believe that? Talk about super affordability. Guys, if you have questions about this home or anything like it, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. All right, number 2 on our list is going to be the accessibility. Now, one thing for sure that we definitely love about Crestview is going to be its location and proximity to places where we truly want to go. Now, I'm not saying that Crestview isn't all that, but we definitely have other places that are really cool that we want to go, like we're talking Destin-Fort, Walton Beach, you know, those specific places where we can go down and get to the beautiful water that's down here. Now, there are some pretty good places even inside this neighborhood.
And those are going to be places like downtown, things like that, that we want to go check out. They have been building out quite a lot of infrastructure here for accessibility to, say, your Walmarts, a lot of your different things like foods and restaurants. There's a lot of chain restaurants here. There's not a lot of places to go out necessarily, but you know, if you want to go out and have some sort of delicious libation, there's a couple of places to do that. There's some pretty decent gyms and all sorts of stuff around this area. And of course, if you like to do a little bit of flying around here too, you also have an airport at Bob Sykes. But guys, if you actually really want to be inside of a place that can actually get you somewhere, and we're talking more or less like, you know, getting on a plane to go somewhere else in the world, you're still going to have to go down to VPS, or the Destin-Fort Walton Beach Airport, which actually surprisingly is only like 20 minutes away from where we currently are anyway. So it's actually pretty advantageous living here. The biggest thing I'm going to say for accessibility though is if you're going to work, or if you're going to spend a lot of your time not in Crestview and the places that surround it, I highly, highly suggest that you end up going to Southern Crestview. So number 3 on this list is going to be the laid back nature of this area. So it is really laid back when it comes to this area, mainly because we've got a lot of areas that have good backyards. You know, it's not like a walking community necessarily. And because of that, you have a little bit more of a country feel when it comes to that. It's very what we call family friendly out here, because it's got a good amount of parks. It's got a lot of restaurants, family friendly restaurants. The school systems are decent. I mean, my kids aren't up here, but from what I hear, which you can research online. But this is a great place for, especially you got a pool, weekend barbecues, and just really kind of hanging out. We've got some good golf courses out here too. But again, everything's gonna be within that distance. But again, like you look around here and you see a lot of these spacious yards, even in these areas, like you're sitting on a quarter acre, half acre lot. Could be a lot more depending upon where you are in Crestview, usually a little bit further north. There's less congestion. Well, as long as you're not on the main drag there. And there's really a lot of parks and nature vibe. So if you like to go out and get on the trails, you like to go out and go for hikes, you maybe like get on a Jeep or something like that, get on those trails. There are tons of that. And mainly it's that area between Crestview all the way into Fort Walton Beach, Niceville. That's all the base. And you get access to that range. You're supposed to go and pay a fee for you to go out and do that. But to be quite honest, you can actually, well, you're supposed to pay, so do that. But if you end up out there, there's tons and tons of different trails for you to go out to and explore and really have fun in the outdoors. There's also RV spots out here. There's tons of stuff to do in there. So it's a huge pro to come out here to have that opportunity. All right, so I wanted to take a minute, guys, and come downtown here so that you can see truly what Crestview is all about. Now, this was the original part down here. They've really done a really good job actually making this look a lot better than it had maybe 10 years ago. So it's actually a really nice part of downtown. So let's kind of talk about all of Crestview. It's really grown, to be quite honest. We've seen it grow from 2020 around, they said around 27,000 up to 30,500 for this area, which I know isn't a lot, but just know that it's pretty well spread out around here too. Now the elevation here, I always think this is funny. The elevation here in Crestview is around 235 feet. Whew, I know, that's pretty high up there. It's actually one of the highest elevations here in the state of Florida, crazy enough. So we even have a mountain that they call Blue Mountain that is over there in 30A, that's a whole towering 60 feet above median sea level. So kind of crazy there. Now additionally too, it's got this rural suburban vibe. The locals have nicknamed this area Crestucky, and y'all from Crestucky know what I'm talking about, right? It's hillbilly in the best way possible. But it really is spacious. A lot of things are stretched out. This is actually the exception that we see out here. This is more condensed and the most condensed that we're gonna find in the area. There are a lot of shops and restaurants and things like that are pretty spread out. Now, additionally, this is really a lot of military family oriented place. And I would say that has a lot to do with the fact that it's affordable, right? It's affordable, it has the infrastructure. You get some of the best homes, like the newest homes with the biggest lots that is the newest that are gonna be out here. So it's a great opportunity not to have to spend a whole lot, especially when you're supporting a family, right? It's pretty cool downtown, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then also it's got its seasonal climates out here. I will be the first to tell you that when you're in Crestview, it's the coldest on the Emerald Coast at any given time. It's also the rainiest, and it's also the hottest at any given time. We're out here in July right now, and I'm not quite melting, but I'm getting there. So, but really the thing that makes it stand out is really the natural beauty of the area. And not just down here in the downtown, like this is really nice. Like every time I come down here, it looks like they've done something else, like more and more things are coming into the city. I don't want to get hit by a car. So just some things to think about here in Crestview. Let's move on to our next. All right, number 4 for the pros here in Old Hub City here in Crestview is going to be the strong growing community. Now, I don't even really need notes for this because I can tell you that it is. Looking out here, as I've mentioned before, guys, like it is growing. This looks way different than it did 10 years ago. It has been one heck of a growing community. They've been building out infrastructure. It's been wild. The infrastructure that they built out to handle traffic, to get outside of the horrendous traffic that was going up the main route here that goes and intersects with I-10. That was just a nightmare, right? But they've been building it out to get another exit off of that to relieve some of it. So they're doing some good things. I don't think it's up to snuff to where it needs to be, especially with some of the new businesses that might be coming in the city. But they've really kind of come up with it. There's a lot more restaurants. There's a lot more shops and things that people will go to because the population keeps going. We have a lot of new construction. We have a lot of new construction in this area, and of course over in Baker, which is right next to us here in Crestview. So it's a growing community. Dining actually has been going. I know that I kind of beat up Crestview for their dining options around here. All right. It's only because I live in Fort Walton and like to go to Destin, okay? But some of them are getting better. So one thing I will suggest if you're up here is check out the Wild Olive, one of the more popular local areas to go check out. But of course you've got all of your staples that are out there, like your Applebee's, Chili's, stuff like that to go check out as well. Now the good news is that getting groceries around here is actually really easy too. Matter of fact, and I said this in other videos and I'm standing by it. Matter of fact, after this video, I'm actually gonna go over to Publix and get this because they have some of the best baked wings that I think I've ever had, which is pretty impressive, right? I've traveled the world. This is the best ones, okay? And it's in a grocery store. It was like that time that I was in Missouri or Mississippi, one of those two. Went to a gas station and had the best fried chicken of my life, all right? So they exist here, guys. So if you end up coming up here, check out the wings there, fall off the bone, amazing. I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Now, the other thing too that you like is the proximity to things here in the area. And the big part is work, right? You have Eglin Air Force Base, you got Duke Field. This is a very veteran-friendly community. It really is. It's not far from the VA clinic that's from here. If you need to go to the VA hospital, jump on I-10 to get into Pensacola, that's not far away. So it's really veteran-friendly, and there's a lot of VA incentives when you're looking to purchase a house, or if you're renting, a lot of them have the different VA clauses that are in there in case you get orders and got to get out, you're not going to be stuck. Like it's really good, friendly environment out here, especially in the real estate market. you want to take advantage of this in 2025, 2026, reach out. And there's always something. Give us a call, shoot us a text. I've got your back. Let's have a conversation. All right, guys. Well, that's really all we've got here for pros and for cons here in Crestview. Just know, guys, make sure to reach out to us, because I don't want you to risk choosing the wrong neighborhood that just doesn't match your expectations. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of bad information out there. I'm gonna give you the full honest truth of what's going on here, as I did today. I don't want you to risk overpaying for a property or not getting the best deals, especially if you're coming here and you're actually gonna purchase and want to build some equity. Now, if you are with us, we're gonna find a home that fits well for you, your family, your lifestyle, everything else is going to be best for you. And you can feel confident that you've made the right choice, and we'll make sure of that. All right, so give us a call, text, do what we've gotta do. So also, guys, if you like this, you want more about Crestview, you wanna know more information about any city here on the Emerald Coast, there is tons of stuff coming up, tons of stuff, okay? So it's either gonna end up here or down here. So make sure to click on those videos or go to our channel. We got hundreds. We're talking over 400 videos just like this, pros and cons, video tours throughout homes. You don't wanna miss it. And you get me as your lovely host, all right? So hopefully, guys, reach out to me if you need anything else. If not, we will see you in the next video. Take care.